Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Good Saturday morning to all of you out there, and welcome to another installment of 757 Sports Talk, powered by Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Ho, ho, ho. A belated Merry Christmas to all of you with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield as we get ready to say Happy New Year to everyone out there. And we've got lots and lots and lots, and I do mean lots of interviews from the Allen Iverson Holiday Showcase and the Woodside Way event coming your way before we bid adieu on this final episode of 2025. How was your Xmas, Edward?
Christmas, always good. First of all, a good morning to all. The coach greets all. Christmas always got to be good. I don't quite celebrate it like I used to, but then again, it's a great, great, relaxing day, and I enjoyed it.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, a lot to go over, but really before we dig deep into everything that's happening in the world of sports with all the things in the college football world, high school football's announced its state championship, all-state teams, I should say all-state teams, not state championship teams, all-state teams, which we've got posted for folks up on VirginiaPreps.com. We're going to be joined by one of the state championship coaches in the 11 o'clock hour to show. Hank Sawyer is going to stop by to talk about his remarkable turnaround from 3-7 to 13-2 in Class 3 champions. But, this is kind of our closeout for the year. So as you look back on the sports year, Ed, for 2025, any one or two things stick out the most? It can be from a local or a statewide front. It can be from a pro or college front. Any couple of things? I have a couple in mind. I don't know if you've been giving this much thought here as we get ready to turn the calendar from 2025 to 2026, but kind of, the year in review, the sports year in review. What'd you learn from the year? What was the thing that shocked you the most or the thing that captivated you the most? Anything? I know what was the least for me. It was that fall classic because those bad guys won the World Series in Game 7 when the guys from Canada were a couple outs away from finishing the deal. But what moved you? What shaked you? What turned you? When we pose it to our Cova Sports TV audience, what out there got you revved up or going?
That you mentioned that World Series, that seventh grade game was one of the best ones in a long time, if not among the best ever to watch. On a national level, I would say that would be something I would put up there. Trying to think elsewhere. Lately the controversy about the college football playoffs, of course, Notre Dame being omitted, which is my team, the team. But I could see that coming right before the final game because of how they restructured the rankings. But that was a lot of controversy. I'm trying to think local, get something local on the high school scene, especially, or other. And for some reason, my mind is not allowing me to go back and to think something to come out of there. I do like the idea in football, 757 crowned 3 champions here lately.
Yeah. Oscar Smith, Maury, Lake Taylor has 3 of them, yeah.
That goes to show that we're still got our aces in the hole down here. And there was no Phoebus mentioned, but we still got the teams that were right there to do that. So, I don't know. I'd have to, divulge a little deeper into it and see. My mind right now is trying to get this team out of the funk that we're in. I came in early to school to watch some more film of our next opponent, Franklin, as well as some of our film of our last game against War Hill.
You look like you've got much sleep, by the way. You look like you're sleep deprived.
No, yeah, you could say that. The last couple of nights I thought was decent, but no, just trying to get this team. We're 2-4, and we're really not that bad. 3 of the games that we've lost, we were in pretty much until the last minute. And we're just making those inexperienced mistakes that are just absolutely killing us. But all in all, like I said, it's a new day, and let's do something with it.
Yeah, I got a couple for you. Certainly, and they're not always positive. Like you said, the controversy with college football, the coaching, all the coaching carousel from Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss to James Franklin, Penn State, every week there was somebody getting fired. The betting scandals involving NBA players, which was not great. The Super Bowl, Philadelphia one-sided over KC. On a statewide or more local front, I go back to the winter and the springtime into the summer. I mean, buzzer beaters. We love buzzer beaters. How about Green Run going coast to coast to win a state basketball championship with Cash Jackson? That sticks out. Ocean Lakes baseball winning a state championship. When you think of all the years of Cox and First Colonial, they won a state baseball championship. That sticks out. And really on the college front, there wasn't a national champion that I can think of. We've had some teams have successful runs. ODU had a bowl run here, 10 wins. They got a bowl win. Great year. You mentioned the 3 state champions in football with Maury, Lake Taylor, and Oscar Smith. But the one that jumps out to me above them all right now, the ECHL strike with the Admirals hockey team. Well, that's going to bother you. You can't go to Scope and watch the hockey, which I know you so dearly love. But how about the name change from Virginia Wesleyan to Baton University, which is going to go into effect next calendar year? But you shake your head. But that was the one that really was, you don't think of every year. We seldom ever have a school or a university, a college change names. That's what really jumps out to me.
That's the hidden one that brought it up. It gets my blood boiling because I'm not a fan of it at all. And I would think the consensus in the area, especially among Virginia Wesleyan diehards, is they're not happy with it either. Though those that are currently employed or active can't say much about it out in public. That's now that you mention it, that is a big one for local. That is extremely big because right, a name change for a whole college, that's extremely rare.
Extremely rare. You don't see that every day. It's very, very, very seldom do you get that to have happen. So I don't know. I thought that was one that jumped out. I mean, let us know your favorite pro college prep story from 2025 or what stuck out to you, and we'll let you interact with us here on this particular episode of 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. And Ed, a lot happening in the world of sports, as we mentioned, all across the landscape. And we were at the Woodside Away Showcase last week, and we got to hear from one of your favorites, not at his castle, but Norman Hassell on the road away from his castle. Let's hear that conversation now on Cova Sports TV.
All right, I'm here with Kellam head basketball coach Norman Hassell. This night's win it by a count of 64-56 for the Maury Commodores in the Woodside Way Hoop Showcase to move to 6-2 on the season. Coach, I know you gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. It was back and forth for 3 quarters, but you opened up the 4th period on an 8-0 burst and really saw a lot of your role players step up around your headliner and Trey Barnhart. How did you like the way you finished the game today?
I definitely liked the finish. The finish was good. We're missing our starting 5, James Wright, who does all of our rebounding and hard, dirty work for us. So it's been tough with that. We haven't had him for 2 games. He's got the flu.
He plays the offensive rebounds then, okay.
Yeah, so he really helps us with that. But the guys did good. We did the best we could, man. We're small anyway, but we did better. We banded together and got it done. So
one of the best area guards is Trey Barnhart for you. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 5 still today. He's junior now. He's been starting since your freshman year. I mean, what makes him such a unique player for you?
Hard worker. Gym rat, 24/7, 365. Never stops. Eats right. Keeps his body right. Wants to learn, craves coaching, no matter how hard or rude I am to him. And when he misses his free throws, I'm very rude to him. Yeah. And nothing phases him. He needs that. He's a go-getter. I mean, these people that aren't recruiting him are missing out. Yeah. And they're going to look embarrassed when he goes somewhere and he was sitting right in their backyard and they didn't do it.
Well, it reminds us of what you said about Trey Freeman, who went on to have a great career at Old Dominion and also is now a head coach for the Wayne area at Kempsville. And one of your assistants now in Josh Talbert, who had a great college career at Randolph-Macon as a national champion. Do you see a lot of the winning attitude element? You mentioned the dedication and hard work.
He is just like those 2 guys. He's like another version of those 2 guys. So and he learns from them. Trey Freeman spent a lot of time with him before he went to Kingsville. Josh Talbot spends a lot of time with them now, so he's learning from the best.
Two more that you run here. MJ Fitch, a sophomore for you, is really a player who's coming into his own. And his father was a player at Kellam back in the day in Virginia,
absolutely.
wasn't he? Yeah.
That apple did not fall far from the tree. His dad, Marcus, was a defensive first kind of guy, and MJ's the same way, but MJ can put it in the bucket too. MJ is a very good sophomore. He's going to have some really strong years. He bailed us out today. He made all the tough plays. He's the toughest kid on this team by far.
Yeah, crafty for sure. Lastly, what's a win do like this for your team? I know you lost a couple of tough, hard-fought battles with Green Run and Norview, but it feels like this could be a year come playoff time. Kellam can be a hard out, and you might have a chance to go to states.
We just got to hang around. We got to hang around. Can't fall back too far. Just keep working. It's good to get ready to go into a little break. 6-2. We wish it was better than that. Everybody, we want to be 8-0, but we didn't. It didn't happen. I like this team. We got a chance. Just got to hang around. That's it.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Thank you. You too.
All right, that is Norman Hassell, head basketball coach of the Kellam Knights, with us here on Cove of Sports TV, where the coach Ed Young joins us from another device now, apparently, on the program. Ed, Kellam, I didn't get a chance to hear that conversation, but Kellam looking rather solid. They'll be a team to contend with in Region 5A, but lots of holiday hoops happening around the Commonwealth and beyond. This time of year where many teams, and you've in the past taken your teams and brought them to different states for events. I remember most vividly the Beach Ball Classic back in 2007 when you went and played Duncanville, who was number 1 in the country out of Texas down there, and lost in double overtime. But a lot of coaches like to get your teams out on the road if they don't play in one of these showcases like the Iverson event or the Woodside event or various one-day events. But the 2-3 game tournament, getting your squad on the road, can really help with the camaraderie and the bonding, can it?
Well, we say that. We take them out on the road and you're together, especially if you're going to go overnight somewhere, spend some time in a hotel room, try to do some other activity other than just the basketball, maybe go to a movie. The last time we went somewhere in Nan's River, we went to Raleigh, tournament in Raleigh, took them to a fun center where did axe throwing, bowling, pool, of course, video games. I remember the axe throwing. They wanted me to go where the axes go into the wall. I said no, but there's about 4 of you I wouldn't mind trying to throw an axe at, but I don't want to mention those names now. That's past. But now, yeah, the bonding part is good. But, you're trying to win some games away from home against a different type of opponent. That particular tournament, we got to play Chapel Hill. And I was rated 4th or 5th in the state in North Carolina, and we ended up losing by 2 in a really good game. And they went on to, I think that year they lost in the second round of the state championship in Carolina. And for the longest time, we had given them their toughest game.
Another good moment from the 2025 year is you back on the sidelines. I know people love that, having you back on the sidelines so they can also chant and heckle Sweat Ed Sweat and yell things at you. Not throw things at you. We don't condone that or encourage that. But
true that it's I can't believe I didn't think about that one. I guess I'm
should have selfishly picked yourself.
Yeah, it is because
since you are a selfish SOB, right?
No, you're looking in the mirror when you say that. You have to be
but
careful.
You said throwing axes, by the way. You said that to go back, and I know you did it with me, with my face. You talked about that a couple years ago with your team. You thought that was all cute and funny. But did you also mention pool? Did you mention pool? You didn't mention pool, did you?
No, it's billiards.
Oh, that kind of pool. I thought you meant the other kind of pool.
No,
Woody's favorite kind of pool.
That's another, probably one of the worst. In fact, there's a national poll that says what was the worst thing that happened to you in 2025. I submitted "Fool in the Pool" for you, so we get
not the lollipop song from last week. I thought you liked the lollipop song.
That's bad too. But, that's really horrible. In fact, I had somebody in Walmart in Suffolk stop me and say,
"It's Walmart sponsored show now. Why are you giving them free pub?"
Well, everybody goes to Walmart. Anyways, this
I
person
don't.
told me, "Hey, Coach, I like the Hatfield in the pool segment, but you got to tell your partner that lollipop got to go." I said, "Just call in, tell the powers to be, chime in, get on the chat line. Let us know, because he don't listen to me. I said he thinks it's a great segment. I said it is bad, and he said I like the pool segment, but that lollipop got to go. I said, well, we're in the works. My attorney's looking into it.
Listen, we'll get our band of our loyal viewers and followers like the Woodies of the world and the Derek's of the world. And hey, speaking of Derek, you know where Derek is right now? Or he was? I don't know if he still is. He went out to the Hawaii Bowl. Check this out. That's right. He was there on Christmas Eve for the Sheridan Hawaii Bowl as Timmy Chang's Warriors rallied for a 35-31 win over Cal. We've got more little vignettes, clips, if you will, from the Hawaii Bowl as we had Derek Fulgham, our correspondent, on the scene there on Christmas Eve. You got to take that trip in since you were busy. You were, quote unquote, busy. You couldn't go. So
Derek is living a big life, and he caused that massive brawl at the end of the game too. I think
it was a brawl. There was.
I think he caused that. So
I think Cal was upset that they had the game in their grasps and they let slip away with Hawaii taking the lead not once but twice in the final few minutes to prevail in the bowls. I know you're not as big into the bowls as you used to be, but
no, I again, and my thing is this: the playoffs. They use the bowls everything except the first round. My attitude is use the bowls for everything, including the first round. Eliminate some of those ones, and then we got to stop allowing teams that are 6-6 and 5-7 playing in a bowl. The bowls have run their course.
Well, you got to have enough bowls to fill when your beloved Notre Dame Fighting Irish decide to opt out, and more of those are coming. Do away. Listen, I know my people mad to be the Scrooge. Do away with some of these bowl games. They are meaningless unless they're in the CFP. That's where we're trending in that direction. We really are. I hate to say it, but the days of I used to look forward to the Gator Bowl or the Outback Bowl or the Citrus Bowl. Those days are long gone. You got opt-outs galore. Texas and Michigan used to be a big deal. That game is, you got teams that they're not into it. I'm sorry.
There, you just hit the key point. A lot of the bowls, key players are jumping in the portal. Coaches are leaving for other jobs. It really means nothing to them. And that's why I've kind of lost the zest for watching it too. I used to love to see certain matchups against two powers in a certain bowl because, we didn't have playoff system back then. But now with the playoff system, the bowls are outdated. Use them strictly for the playoffs. You can leave a couple of the long-term ones out there that have been around for a while, leave them in there. But I just don't. It runs its course. I don't get excited about seeing, I could say the Pop-Tart Bowl or whatever, and the teams are 6-6 against a 5-7 team or whatever. I just don't like the opt-out. That's my whole problem.
Tell them, Woody. Tell them they should have gone to a bowl. They're disrespectful, those Fighting Irish.
Woody, I'm one of the first people that said Notre Dame made a gigantic mistake, crying about not making the tournament. And they should have went to a bowl without question, and they need to get their butts in a conference without question. And to get mad at the ACC because they pushed Miami, well, you're not in the ACC. What's the ACC supposed to do? They couldn't put Duke in. So, yes, they should push Miami to get in there. And if you would have beat Miami back then, whenever they played, then you wouldn't have much to cry about. But, yes, Notre Dame got screwed, but the way they handled it I thought was ridiculous.
Yeah, back when we did our live Hatfield Youngcast. We got to do another one of those coming up soon for basketball or something, or a football playoff game. Bowl game or something. Matter of fact, when we did that, Hank Sawyer was one of our guests who we'll be talking with in a little bit, and Andy Lynn of Lafayette. Plus, we had Gary Hess, and we had we had 4 people on that day. It was Hess, it was Hank, it was Andy Lynn. Who else am I forgetting? We had 4 people on. Oh, Dwight Vick. Dwight Vick was one of our others we had on. We had D. Vick. Yeah. Dwight Vick. So there you have it. All right. We've got more coming your way. Don't touch that dial. It is 757 Sports Talk on Kova Sports TV, where we give you everything tropical, even in this holiday time of the year.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there. Because here, you are more. One Life Fitness.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
All right, here with Woodside head basketball coach Stefan Welsh. His team wins 62-47 over the Massaponics Panthers here in the Woodside Way Hoop Showcase nightcap. Coach, I know there was extra incentive playing a Massaponics team that was ranked #1 by us in Virginia Preps in Class 5. You guys, not that far off, and you've been in the championship round a couple of times at state semis, I think each of the last 3 years. It's a first quarter physical game, a couple of calls that were let go. How did you guys respond from what did you see from your youngsters that have come back and played tonight in this game?
I mean, we pride ourselves on building a championship culture. You know, it took us a while to get here, and all these guys have played in a lot of big games, right? This was just another one of those. In games like this, emotions are always going to be high. You know, Massaponics is well coached. You know, obviously we've seen the rankings. You know, they were #1 in the state, but I think that we got something to say about that too. We grind. We stay in our own lane, and we see everything everybody's saying, and we take it as total disrespect. Sure. You know, and when it's all said and done, these guys will work hard enough and they'll get the respect they deserve.
Well, even though you graduated guys like Silas Barksdale, who's at UVA, Messiah Wells, senior point guard, your main star coming back, and Donnell Deuce Jarrett gets his 4th foul in the third quarter. It's a 2-point game. How crucial was it to get that lead up to 8? Hit a couple of big threes. I think it was Trent Smalling as well as Jaden Dietrich for you to push it up, and you got momentum from there.
Man, all those guys, Jaden, Deuce, Trent, MJ, Santos, transfer from Lafayette, Maury. I mean, those guys have played a lot of big minutes, right? And now it's just their turn to step into their roles and become who they are. And I tell people all the time, I had to learn how to coach with a big like Silas. I didn't have to learn how to coach with a lot of guys that's built like me. And so this is a very exciting team. We're going to play fast. We're going to shoot a lot of threes. We're going to play together. And as long as we keep grinding, we'll get to exactly where we want to be.
So let me follow up with that. Does this team fit more of your play style and coach style? Because we know when you played back in the day before you went to Arkansas, you were known as a knockdown three-point shooter. You got guys all over the floor in space and knock it down from distance.
Absolutely. Like I said, I ain't had to learn how to coach guards. I'm a guard, you know what I mean? So when you look up at the makeup of our team, all our guards are in between 6'3" and 6'4". All of them can dribble, pass, and shoot and make high-level decisions on the fly. And you know, we're just scratching the surface. You know, all my starters, I haven't had my starters together since October 22nd in the CBG, right? This is the first game where I've had all my guys. I haven't had a practice yet with all the guys. So, I mean, to get a win like this against a team like that, when you haven't had all of your guys together one time, I mean, that speaks volumes to what we're going to be when it's all said and done. I tell people all the time, too, I scheduled the hardest schedule that I've had since I've been here at Woodside. Right, that was by design. I believe in these guys. These guys believe in themselves. And at the end of the day, we're going to make people believe in us.
Yeah, last year, I think the thing that also goes under is just how good your defense, your intensity from the first quarter to the second quarter on was locked down. It was incredible. And they had a couple guys that played well. Trey Bowler, number 5 for them. Number 3 for him, Colin Bowles, the guard. It felt like you guys wanted to make his airspace, tighten him, and get him uncomfortable. Was that part of the game plan?
Absolutely. Coming in, we knew that he a guy that really, really makes shots, right? And so we want to limit his catches as far as being open. When he catch it, we want to make him a driver, make him make decisions off the bounce. We know that he can kill you from deep. I thought we did a phenomenal job with that. Yeah. Like I said, this group, I mean, all 11 of them honor roll students, so actually they're high-level thinkers, right? So we can do a lot of different things in our coverages because all of them are extremely smart. You know what I mean? And I think, like I said, when it's all said and done, obviously we see everything everybody's saying. And at the end of the day, people are going to wish that they gave us the respect we deserve.
Absolutely. Before we finish up on that, though, at 4:32 to go, Smalling goes in for a dunk. It was a hard, nasty foul. How is he, by the way? That could have been really ugly. What transpired there?
Well, again, our program, I think, is built on toughness. Okay. You know, Trent is a tough kid who's really playing at a really, really high level. I like the way the guys rallied around him. After Trent went down, we went on maybe like a 10-0 run, ball game. You know what I mean? And, you know, this team, this early in the season, this is the best group as far as team defense I've had this early. You know what I mean? And that speaks volumes to what we're going to become because, like I said, I haven't had all my guys.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So once we really get on the same accord and get on the same page, we're going to be very, very dangerous.
Lastly, as you head into January, before you get to worry about February and March, you mentioned about the disrespect part and the chip on his shoulder, not just in the state rankings, but also area-wise. Denver and Hampton in your district are ahead of you, and you had a 40-plus game win streak.
Right.
How much are the guys chomping at the bit for those games coming up?
I mean, we know who we are, and I think that everybody know who we are too. But it's people rally behind the underdog, right? People get bored and get tired of people that always win. And I want them to know they can keep getting tired because we're going to keep winning as long as I'm here.
Well, congrats on winning. Great job tonight.
Appreciate that.
Ho, 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 you bugger! Wow! Mele Kalikimaka! 757 Sports Talk! Wow! Wow! Wow!
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Back here on 757 Sports Talk, like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV. I'm not sure Ed could see the last interview or the little clip that we just had moments ago, but we're going to attempt to let him see the rejoin that we just had here with us on the screen as we're going to try this a different way to allow him, not the entire interview we just had with Stefan Welsh of the Woodside Wolverines, but this little cameo from Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, you bugger! Wow! Mele Kalikimaka! 757 Sports Talk! Wow! Wow! Wow!
How about that? Did you see that? You like that?
Man, Santa gave us a shout out. He looked a little different, but I take it.
There you go. So you were able to see that. That's good to know. Good to know.
That yes.
Okay, good deal. I didn't know if you could see that or not. But back here on the program, it is time now to take a look at, we'll hear more from some of the coaches. You heard from Stefan Welsh, you're from Norman Hassell. We got coming up Dame Robinson of Landstown, Keon Mitchell of Norview, Derek Yogi Edwards of Lake Taylor, Craig Brehon of Bethel, Eric Brown of Hampton, and so many more that we'll sprinkle in throughout the program. And yeah, Woody's right. Santa has replaced the pool man. It's unfortunate, but maybe when 2026 comes back, or 2026 arrives, pool man will come back. You never know. You never know. You never know. So he's also telling us, Woody, that's going to be at your game against York on the 5th. Is that a home game or a road game for you, sir?
That's a road game. That's a road game.
It's a road game. Okay. Interesting. So he'll be there at York, the Peppermint Patties. I wonder if Doug Pereira will be there and come out in a fog of blue smoke and hit you over the head with a shovel. That's what he should do, or a 2x4. I might instruct Doug to do that. Take you out.
I do hope Doug's there. I'd like to speak to him if he's there.
But one of the big stories of the week as we get ready to close out 2025 and usher in 2026 is Kyle Whittingham, the new football coach of the Wolverines of Michigan. What do you make of this? I don't think anybody will object to this hire from a standpoint of success. He knows his stuff. He's sharp. He can win football games. But here's my big question to you as you analyze or dissect this or give us your thoughts and observations. It's an NIL world. It's a transfer portal world. Is Kyle Whittingham going to be the name that puts Michigan on that plateau with the Ohio State University, the Buckeyes, the reigning national champs? And will Michigan still have that pipeline with VA that they built this year, getting the names such as Louisa 5-star running back Savion Hyder, Andre Clark Jr. from Hermitage, Markel Dabney from Huguenot, and, of course, the Class 6 State Offensive Player of the Year wide receiver Travis Johnson from Oscar Frommel Smith in Chesapeake. What do you think? Weigh in.
Well, first of all, how it came down, if you remember, Whittingham told Utah officials that after the bowl game, he was, quote, I think saying stepping down, not retiring, we all thought he's retiring.
Correct.
66 years old. He's been tremendous at Utah. That gets hardly any pub on the East Coast because of where they're at, but they're traditionally a strong program. Did not have a good year last year. Had a good year this year. I'm okay with it. It's way better than Sharon Moore by far. And yes, I think some of the knock is, well, wait a minute, he's 66. Why couldn't we get a hotshot younger guy? Well, the answer to that is that's what you did when you hired Sharon Moore with no head coaching experience, and that didn't really work in terms of off the field. On the field was okay. Well, I'll say good, better than okay. So I knew it was going to be a veteran head coach. When his name was mentioned early in the whole system, I thought, okay, that's not bad. Probably a 3 to 5 year deal, and I think he got a 5-year deal, making roughly $8 million a year. Hello world on that one. He wasn't making no $8 million in Utah. In terms of what you're saying, yes, Michigan sells itself. I wouldn't be breaking doors down to go to Michigan with Sharon Moore as a head coach. I would feel a little stronger with winning him there because of his track record. Now, as far as recruiting, it'll be interesting to see, does he keep a lot of the current staff, or does he bring in his own people, which I'm sure he'll bring in a good handful. And
so on that point, whispers have it, not me to cut you off, but whispers have it that he's going to bring in some defensive staff members from BYU. So those that were liking BYU today against Georgia Tech in that bowl game, maybe want to take a little closer look at it. But or does he might get BYU's defensive coaches or a couple of defensive coaches? I think he's going to mix and match a little bit.
It's got to work for what works in Michigan and in the Big Ten now, which is, but I've always said this. I think Utah would be a type of team that is like a Big Ten type team. They pound and ground. They're always known for their offensive line play. They're a physical team. So I think
the West Coast Wisconsin.
Yeah, you could say that. They would be.
No, they're not on the West Coast. They're on the western part of the country. I understand.
Right. I would liken them to a Wisconsin. So
I'm in the Big 12 now, Utah. So
I think it's a very good hire for Michigan in terms of what they just went through, and I think he's a solid pick there for the 3 to 5 years. He got the 5-year deal. I'm sure he'll be there, and of course, everybody's going to just say in Michigan, well, we got to keep beating Ohio State, and of course, we want to get in those playoffs, which is what everybody wants to do. Now, it'll be interesting. A lot of people said, well, why didn't they wait till later and get some? Well, the portal, I think, closes soon, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, January 2nd is the key day. January 2nd is the key day.
Okay. So it had to be done. I don't think it's a rush job. I really think Michigan looked around and said, hey, this guy fits our profile better than anybody out there. And that's who we're going with. And, it's just a lot of people on the East Coast aren't really familiar with him. But, look at his record. He's done well. And Utah has not ducked good competition. So I'm okay with it.
We've got more coming your way on 757 Sports Talk. You're watching with us on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Now this from those that help make the program possible. Stay tuned.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams-Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
I'm here with Lake Taylor head basketball coach Yogi Edwards. His team wins it by a count of 62-33 of the John Marshall Justices to move to 6-0 at the Woodside Way Hoop Showcase in Newport News. Coach, it didn't take but about 3-4 minutes, and you're already forcing a bunch of turnovers. I think 9 in the first 3-4 minutes of the game. It's Lake Taylor's DNA, the identity, the staple from your days coming up as a coach, now the head man. What'd you see from your defense to kind of make them break?
Yeah, I think our defense was great today. We got after them a lot. We played some passing lanes. We got some steals. So you're right, that's the Lake Taylor DNA.
Certainly you have guys that can go get 20 on any given night, but how much is the unselfishness, the buy-in, that product a big deal to your success so far?
Yeah, I think that's the thing about our team. Like, I got Jacarri Jones can score 20, Jamari Edwards can score 20, but they just buying into sharing the ball, to the young guys playing well. We just playing good ball together.
And one of those players to go with Edwards and Jones, two guys that figure to be all-state candidates this year, is Mark Johnson for you in the backcourt. It feels like he makes a lot of plays that don't show up in the stat sheet.
Yeah, Mark one of our better defenders. He only a sophomore. He went through a lot of the fire last year, so he playing some good ball right now early in the season.
Speaking of underclassmen, he got the chance to play as a freshman. You got another guy, I think you call him junior, Shaquantay Evans. I tweeted out tonight that people love to find out who's next up. He's next up, isn't he?
Yeah, well, everybody telling me that. Every time I turn around, everybody want to know who the freshman. I want to see the freshman. Yeah, he only 14 years old, so he's doing his thing.
He's got a little bit of a swagger to him. How much is it rubbing off of? You guys have had to sit Lake Taylor, going back to the days when you had the Travius Smiths, the Darion Seabrons, the Joe Bryants, the Young Jordans. They go up against the bigger guys, and by the time it gets to, put up or shut up time, they're ready for it.
Yeah, we believe in playing younger kids. If they talented enough, we play them. So eventually, we know when they juniors and seniors, they ready to fight.
What did last year's playoff run, though it didn't end up in a state championship game appearance, but with a bunch of underclassmen, what did it do for the group that came back?
Yeah, a lot of them, I just told them the other day, they have to still remember the whole way of game. So when we're not playing our best, we got to still remember the whole way of game, so they playing some good ball.
And lastly, for this team to meet its potential and goals, I know you've already taken down one of the teams in the Eastern District in Granby. You still got to play Norview in the Eastern District. You know how rugged and physical your league is, and everybody's talking about that team. It's their time now in Petersburg in Class 3. But Lake Taylor's going to be there come March. What's it going to take to reach some of the goals you have set this year?
We just got to continue to get better every day. We just got to continue to share the ball, continue to defend. Yeah, I heard the talk about Petersburg. When it's all said and done, we'll see them when we see them.
The Titans will be there where you can expect it. Yogi Edwards, thanks so much for the time. All the best.
Thank you.
Okay, here with the terrific tandem of the Lake Taylor Titans. We have on the left Shaquantay Jr. Evans. He finishes up with 16 points, 5 assists, 4 steals tonight. In the game MVP, Jacarri Jones, the senior, who has 19.6 rebounds, 4 steals. They win it over Freedom Woodbridge, 52-22. I'll start with you, freshman. What's it like out here playing with these bigger, older guys, and you guys winning like you have at Lake Taylor so far this season, 7-0? It's got to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I feel like it's fun, just being able to come out and compete with my team. We work all summer for it. It's just fun.
Carl, you guys have been blowing people out easy this year. A lot of turnovers, a lot of steals. How have you been able to do it so far and do it effortlessly, it feels like?
Team criticism, basically like how we've been playing like over the summer and stuff. We get used to each other, so it's like we just go with the flow. Mm-hmm. Like we just get the job done like our coach tell us to.
Being all-region, all-state level players like yourself and Jamari Edwards, who I know wasn't in uniform today, how much have you all coming back this year, taking on a leadership role for this team in your quest to go to states this season?
Me personally, I feel like it's a lesson, like, because I was being leadership behind my 2 seniors from last year. Mm-hmm. They just showed me the path, and I just took it upon myself to show the young kids leadership this year.
Mm-hmm. Shaquantay, you've done something I don't see too many players do, whether it's seniors or freshmen. You did it back in Wesleyan team camp. You threw it off the back of a guy on an inbound and scored it, I think, to win a game. And today you did it off a defender. How much is something that you've studied from other players watching college basketball, and you get a joy, a kick out of doing that?
Yeah, it's kind of fun, having fun with it. That's what I like to do when I step on the court, just have fun.
Mm-hmm. Kari, for you, what's the best part of your game? I know you're starting to get some attention from some schools at the next level watching and other people. What do you think you bring to the court and for your team?
Just everything. Just being that senior, having that status, you basically just I'll just basically be able to do everything, share the ball, score for my team, play defense, just do the little stuff that the younger people can't do.
Sure. What's it going to take for Lake Taylor to be, in the end, playing for a championship, be it a region championship, state championship? What are the things you guys have to work on to reach your goals this season?
It's gonna be a lot of pieces we really got put together. We still putting them together to get to where we want to get. My coach always told us that every team we step in front of, they just in our way to get to our bigger goal that we want to get to.
All right, let's finish with some fun ones here. All right, favorite NBA player for both of you guys? Who's your guy you like watching?
I like Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie, how about you, Kari?
KD.
All right. I know it's almost Christmas time. What's your Christmas movie you're watching during the holidays? What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2, he says. How about you?
Polar Express.
All right, there you go. For Jacarri Jones and Shaquantay Davis, Lake Taylor. Thanks so much, guys.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
So you heard from some Titans from Lake Taylor, Shaquantay Evans and Jacarri Jones, as well as Coach Derek Yogi Edwards. Ed, they've been rolling undefeated right now. One of the nice stories in high school basketball. In fact, Petersburg in Class 3 is taking a couple of L's, so we'll see if Lake Taylor at some point ever leapfrogs Petersburg, which would be almost blasphemous. I did see Paul VI winning the City of Palms Classic. They've ascended to number 1 in the national rankings on Max Preps. Petersburg was, I think, as high as number 3 in that. They've dropped, but still stayed in the top 25. But speaking of all these holiday tournaments, so we got the George Long holiday tournament at Wakefield, other teams around the state from our area in a 757 going to out-of-area tournaments as well. You're not in a tournament, but you're in a game on Tuesday, is it? You play on the road, is it? Well, your big game's coming up, right?
Yeah, we got a game over at Franklin under, of course, Robbie Cutson's the head coach over at Franklin. Actually, he gave me a call after the season started and needed a game. Somebody had dropped off his schedule, and gave him a couple dates, and one of them was the 30th. I needed a game over the break. We played War Hill on the 23rd, and I needed one for this coming week because I don't want to give the kids 14 days off from games. It gets a little dry in practice. So we agreed on the 30th. We'd go over there, and possibly next year he'll come to us. But Robbie's one of those guys I really respect in the business. I think he does it the right way. And we'll have some fun over there. And also the side part of it is, Robbie, I don't know if I can say this on air. I can't mention it, but he has some dealings with a restaurant over there.
It's on the screen. You don't have to say it. It's right there.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I didn't see it at first. There it is, sir. Okay. So we can say it. And by the way, Coach Cutson said that he may do some sponsorship. So let's call his name out there, sir. And after the game, I told him winner buys. So we'll be at the restaurant after the game.
That's nice to know you're going to pick up the check once in a while. If you win, but you got to win. You got to take care of business because the last time you played him in the Western Branch Showcase, you didn't win. And he is coming off a state championship game appearance. So,
yeah, Robbie runs good. Like I said, I've watched all of their games this year.
Now here's the question, though. If he said winner buys, so if you beat him, if I'm Robbie Cutchins, I'm ordering the most expensive thing in that restaurant, every steak, every drink, everything to make you have to pay out the yin-yang.
Well, if his prices are too high in his own restaurant, they'll have to be, we'll have to talk about that because I'm working on a substitute teacher salary. I don't have a regular teacher salary.
Oh, please. Money bags over here now with the substitute teacher salary. Give me a break.
Well, that's what I'm with. So
give me a break. You are full
of $62 a day.
That's more than a lot of people make.
I'm blessed. Like I said, I'm not going to complain, but I'm so extravagant.
Oh no, you complain. That's what you do all the time. Hey, as it scrolls across your ticker now, we do want to send our very best to the Buggs family. Joe Buggs, who people know, coached for many, many years, passing away on Friday at the age of 88. Started in the 1950s, was a heck of a coach and player. He's the father of Kermit Buggs and grandfather of Smithfield quarterback Kyle Buggs. But we lost one of the treasured people in the Hampton Roads community, athlete and coach, age of 88. He coached at the college level, actually got a chance to try out for the Steelers and play baseball in the Cardinals organization, and ended up being the head coach at Smithfield for a decade, also coached track for many, many years, was on the coaching staff with his son when Surrey High School won a championship in 1999. So we want to send our best to the family, the Buggs family. Rest in peace as they mourn the loss of Joseph Joe Buggs at the age of 88. He's in many Hall of Fames, the Hampton Roads African American Sports Hall of Fame and the Athletic Hall of Fame of the Lower Virginia Peninsula, among others. So tough to see and hear about that news, and we send our condolences to the Buggs family.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to take. I didn't know that until I saw the ticker. His name is big out here in Smithfield, but it is big in the coaching thing. I met him years ago, competitor. First thing I thought, this guy, he shook my hand. I broke 2 fingers. He was a competitor as a player, competitor as a coach, competitor as a person. He was probably one of those guys, I would imagine, hard love type, tough love type in family and doings. But the guy would do anything for you if you were a trusted friend. And he knew sports. He knew how athletes had to play, no matter what sport you're in. He knew how athletes had to go about it. And it started with the idea of competing. You got to compete. You got to find a way to win. You may not be the biggest, strongest, quickest, fastest. So you've got to find a way to win, as opposed to, I can't do it, or make excuses. He was not an excuse maker. That's a tough one to lose. One of those pillars in the industry. So condolences and prayers to the Buggs family and all the friends of such.
Absolutely. Rest in peace to Joseph Joe Buggs at the age of 88. This individual did not pass away, but he is departing from the broadcasting. I just got a text from him. We were trying to get him on the program this morning, but could not do so. We're getting him on at some point as we turn the calendar over to 2026, Ed. But Brian Smith, Channel 13, hanging up his cleats as you see it across our ticker. His last newscast was on Friday night, which was a shock to me. I just saw Brian at the Bethel Allen Iverson showcase. He's been there since the early 1990s, as you see, 32 and a half years. Brian is tied up right now at the moment, but he did thank me for the kind words, and we wish him all the best in his next chapter, as we'll be losing one of the best that's covered the sports scene in Hampton Roads over there at 13 News Now. He and Scott Cash were an institution for many years. Of course, Scott now living on the West Coast out there in Cali, and Scott's a good friend of ours as well. So we send all the best to Brian, who I know we'll miss seeing at all the games we go to all over the 757.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, Brian's I'm a little perturbed that he's walking away, because he's good. Still got a lot to give. It was always cool to see Brian at the events, sporting events, lugging around the camera. So he's filming, he's interviewing, and then he's racing back to the station to go ahead and get everything ready, all that behind the scenes, pressing the buttons, and then come on the air to show what he did. And I always thought to myself, and he's not the only sportscaster that does that. And I say to these channels in the area, why don't you give these sports guys, these Hall of Fame types, some help? Why is he lugging a camera around? It should be somebody else doing it. And he should just be the face of the show. They don't do that with the newscasters. But I hate to see Brian leave, because he was an institution to watch on the sidelines. He knew his sports. And we do got to get him on, because I'm interested to hear some Brian Smith stories, some of the best things that he's covered over the years, both local and national. Maybe that we'll be able to get him on. I know he had some health issues in the past, and he's overcome that. And I'm just disappointed that we're going to miss him. But you know what? He has entitled to do what he wants to do with his life. He's going to do something else. I wish him all the best.
I'm sure he'll be watching a lot of New York Mets games. He's a big Mets guy, and also has got some ties to VCU. We've got coming up at the top of the hour, Hank Sawyer, head football coach of the Class 3 state champion Lake Taylor Titans. They got a neat thing going on, too. We'll tell you about how you can help them as they try to help their youngsters get the rings, because, as you know, Ed, from way back in your day in the 80s at Suffolk High, these rings and jackets, they're not free. But we're going to take a time out, and you'll hear from a couple of more winning participants from the Allen Iverson Holiday Showcase, including Norview guard Keon Fats Mitchell and Bethel head basketball coach Craig Brehon. You're watching with us where? 757 Sports Talk, Ed. Where are they watching?
Cola Sports TV.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Kova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit kovapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Now, for a limited time on the $7 meal deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
All right, here with Norview senior guard Keon Fats Mitchell. His Pilots defeat the Lafayette Rams 76-61 here in the Allen Iverson Holiday Showcase. Fats, I think this is like the second or third MVP you've got this event. Is it second or third? Which one is this? You've got this before. Second one.
Second, yeah.
26 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists for you. Your team's been playing really well. Just one blemish this year against Patriot. Tell me your mindset as a senior now coming into this game and this year in general.
Just dominate, win every game, go out and play. Leave it all up there. It's my last year. Got to go out with a bang.
Sure. And you guys have been knocking on that state tournament door in Class 5. I know you've had some tough losses to Woodside and Nance whenever your sophomore and junior year. Do you feel like this is the team that can get over the hump, and if so, why?
Definitely. I feel like I'm a senior, and I know I'm not going down. I ain't going down without a fight this year. Definitely.
Sure. You've been putting up some of the best numbers in the area, points, rebounds, assists nightly. Is it now just kind of loose and easy for you? The game is kind of slowed down as a senior. What's been kind of your transformation from freshman? You're kind of hyped up, able to score, and now your game's kind of – you're making a lot of plays off the pass as well this year.
Definitely. I feel like I got the game more control now that I'm a senior. I see the floor better. Mm-hmm. I just control the pace of the game.
Mm-hmm. Do you take as much pride as leading the area in assists as you do points? And why is that?
I love getting my teammates involved. We all have fun. We all eat over here.
Sure. What's it mean to you to have a lot of local colleges, whether it's Old Dominion, Norfolk State? I know Coach Masuda from Virginia was here today to see you and make you a priority right now, because it's like those are schools that are kind of on you the most right now. Is that true? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I love hometown. I love all the coaches that love me. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Is that something you're thinking about as you're getting closer and closer to decision time, that you might play in-state, whether it be whatever level it is?
Wherever I'm at.
Okay. What's going to matter to you as you get closer and closer to that decision? What's going to be the things you prioritize?
Definitely a bond and a great system that I can play under.
Mm-hmm. You and Marty out there, Zamari and Mitchell, you're both Mitchells out there. It feels like off the bounce you guys are hard to check. How much has the chemistry grown from last year now? I know he was new to the team a season ago.
Definitely. Well, we were playing since we were kids together, and he came last year. But last year, he came like right before the season, so we didn't really have the chemistry. This year, we had a summer to work. Definitely showing.
Sure. You can put up 30 points in any given moment. How much have you, though, focused on improving your outside shot and free throws, so you know that if you can get those threes and free throws, you might have some 40 burgers in your future?
Yeah, definitely got to hit more shots, stay in the lab. It's going to come.
Mm-hmm. Sure. 2 more for let you run here. For this team in the Eastern District in Class 5, what's it going to take for you guys to accomplish some of the goals you have set out this year?
We got to just keep being dogs on defense, keep executing on offense,
all right.
Listening to coach.
And lastly, it's almost Christmas here. It's Christmas time. What's the perfect gift for Fats Mitchell? What's the number one go-to you're hoping Santa gives you or someone your family gives you? What's the go-to gift for you? Money. He wants cash money. Keon Fats Mitchell, thanks so much. Congratulations. Okay. All right, I'm here with Bethel head basketball coach Greg Brehon. His team rallies from 10 points down to defeat the Lakeland Cavaliers by a count of 55-54 here in the Allen Iverson Holiday Showcase, even the record to 4-4 in the season. Coach, this one looked pretty bleak in the third quarter. I think you were down by 10 points, but Ty Wigfall for you. What a fourth quarter he had, scoring half of his 18 points, including that tie-breaking three. And this is sort of a coming of age for your young group, isn't it, this win?
It is. We started the season off really well, and then we've hit a lull where we just haven't played well. Our confidence, our spirit, what we're saying, and we kind of showed that in the first half. We started okay, then we just had a lull where we couldn't score. We weren't playing with any intelligence at all, but the backs were against the wall. Ty did make some big baskets for us. He's playing much better right now. Probably the last 2-3 basketball games, asserting himself on the offensive end of the floor. We're asking him to do a lot defensively, contain, pressure, rebound, all those kind of things, play against the other team's best scorer. And he's just giving us a lot. And he's doing a lot for us. So I'm really proud of him and the success and maturation he's done the last 2 or 3 games.
It looked like it took a little while for you to get adjusted to their defense. They extended out a little bit with some trapping and some zone looks. Second half, though, it felt like you got better ball movement. And Mason Faulkner, though he didn't make a shot for you, he hit a bunch of key free throws to keep them at bay or help you in the run, I should say, the comeback, and also salted away.
Well, that's the key against zones, ball movement. And so we get into a point where we just start trying to do one-on-one, make plays ourselves, shoot the quick shot, get the defense moving side to side. That's what we want them to do. Flash in the middle. You hit the ball in the middle, now you got options. And so we get away from that. Sometimes it hurts us because we're playing with 5 guards out there. And that's been a problem for us all year. But we did respond later in the game, make good decisions, and that helped us win because they stayed in that zone. And, they were having some issues guarding us in man. Especially in the second half. But I was proud of how the kids were just patient the second half against the zone and took really good shots that were not contested.
What's it mean to compete in showcases like this? Certainly you played at Woodside High School, lost to Princess Anne over the weekend. This Allen Iverson Holiday Showcase, it's neat to see a former MVP who was a legend here at Bethel and all the folks that come out for it. I know your kids take pride. And also you had a lot of former players, guys that are in college now like Marcus Banks and Farrell Lasser, Obi Okafor. You've got guys that played for you that are coaching with you like Cam Bako, Justin Ed. So I know this means a whole ton to you.
It really does. I was really happy to see each and every one of our alumni. There's about 10 of them tonight. Some are currently still playing college ball and others are just going to school. And they just came to check on me. Hadn't seen them in probably a year since I've been sick. So they came to show their Bruin pride. They still have a lot of pride in this program. I want these kids to play hard. And so that meant a lot to me. The Princess Anne game, I thought we hung with them for about a half. We were there. But they have long athletic wings that just make plays with the basketball, and we just had some lapses in our containment. They got into the lane and finished on us, but it was a good test for us, and I was glad we played them. And Montgomery does a good job with that basketball team. So going forward, the conference is going to be tough. We got Churchland coming up on Saturday. It's a very quick team, a physical team. We've seen that type of a team before, but we just got to just settle down a little bit, be more patient, and I like what I saw in the second half tonight. We can grow from there if we do the same thing we did tonight.
And lastly, we thank you for the time. You touched on it briefly. Certainly you've gone through a lot with your health. I know you're a very private person, but what's it meant to you to have all the well wishes from coaches around the area, people in the community, to be back out here with these young kids that keep you energetic and lively? I know you have a lot of guys doing a lot of the coaching, but you still get up from time to time and bark out some things and make instruction for this team.
Well, barking out is getting me to the point where I'm getting sick again. I lose my breath. I had to take 2 games off because of that yelling. And so my doctors didn't encourage me to come back, but I wanted to be back. And I've gone through a lot in the last 10, 12 months, second time with cancer. And they really told me I probably should think about giving it up. But God has been good to me and gave me a second chance to be out here with these guys. And this keeps me young. And so I'm thankful. I've got guys on my bench that are younger, like I said, that played for me. They're doing a lot more talking for me, especially the yelling part, so they can get the message across. So I'm thankful for them and trying to put them in a position to have their own programs one day as well. So they're doing a great job for us.
They're doing a wonderful job impacting young lives all across the area. Craig Brehon, thank you so much. God bless you and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, Matt, as well. Thanks so much.
So that was Craig Brehon of the Bethel Bruins winning over Lakeland, and you heard from Keon Fats Mitchell from Norview prevailing in its Allen Iverson Holiday Showcase matchup with Lafayette here on Cova Sports TV. Ed, really cool to see for Coach Brehon to get that comeback when he's been through so much on and off the court here in the last year plus.
Yeah, I tried to pull it up on the interview. I'm like I said, I'm having phone difficulties on here in the interviews today, and I couldn't get it on the computer either. And I was going berserk here trying to hear what Craig had to say because I know he's gone through some stuff. But the bottom line is he's back on the sidelines. Tremendous amount of knowledge. I still think he has a great future of knowledge to give out to these youngsters, let alone what he's done in the past. And I'd like to get a chance to talk with Craig here coming up soon because we're both on that other end of the scale in terms of the oldsters leading the way as these young guys are going at it now. So I didn't really get to hear what he really had to say to react on the interview as such, but I'm glad he got that win and he's back on the sidelines.
I was told just the other day that he still holds records for his, I think, 3-point shooting in the Hornets Christmas Classic they had many, many years ago at Deep Creek, because he was a heck of a two-guard back in his day at Lake Taylor High School in Norfolk. And speaking of which, we'll be celebrating the state champion Titans, Class 3. We'll hear from Hank Sawyer, his team making a remarkable turnaround from 3-7 to winning 13 games this year and winning a state championship in walk-off fashion in a double overtime classic at Liberty University. You'll get a chance to see the final play if you didn't see it earlier this month. We come back here from the NFHS Network on Cova Sports TV. But a quick timeout. We'll hear from some of the sponsors that make it possible, including our friends at One Life Fitness, Chicho's Pizza, and Town Bank. You're watching 757 Sports Talk, our final one for the calendar year of 2025, right here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and always subscribe.
What is more? Is it more reps, more strength, more stamina? We say it's all of that, but it's greater than just what's in the mirror. It's about improving your mental and physical health. More is a feeling of achievement, fulfillment, confidence. It's looking better, feeling better, being better, and it's our mission to get you there, because here you are more. One Life Fitness.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
They're in pistol now, not Veer. Mesh point.
Adams throws it, got a
receiver.
man at the goal line. Touchdown, Titans! Titans win! Titans win! Heston takes it. Titans are your 2025 Class 3 champions.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we welcome you back to 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV with the coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. We are now delighted to be joined by the head football coach of the state champion Lake Taylor Titans, to see he and his group celebrating at Liberty University the thriller in double overtime, beating the Kettle Run Cougars 48-42. We say hello and congrats and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year to Coach Hank Sawyer. Coach, thank you for coming on the program. I'm glad to know, A, that Ed didn't jinx you when you came on with us back on, what was that, Labor Day, I think it was, and B, Christmas came early for you this year, winning a championship that few could have ever envisioned.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Thank you for having me. Ed could never jinx me because he's one of my best friends, and he's a coach, just like me. So he never could jinx me. We don't believe in that.
There you go.
We believe preparation helps your opportunities.
But hey, first of all, congrats. Thanks for coming on. And you and I both know, if anybody's going to jinx us, this knucklehead here, because he can screw up a one-car parade easily. So we already know that. He does his Fool in the Pool segments, which I'm hoping you haven't seen. And now he's on a lollipop and singing a lollipop song. And this is what I got to put up with. People don't realize what I have to go through. But right now, you're the focal point, and that's what's important right now. Congrats, and I hope you did have a great Christmas.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm sitting around the house with my Yorkie champion. He runs everything. His nickname is House Papa. My wife left about 30 minutes ago to go to basketball practice. Of course, he wanted to go with her. And people say, oh, why you always have a dog around you? And I tell them, every dog I've had, a German Shepherd, a Pit Bull, American Eskimo, and 2 Yorkies. And they all had the same philosophy. They was in your face, in your space. And that's how I coach football, just like that. They worse them. And that's how I want my guys to play football. I want them to be worse for their opponent.
I like that because I've got a black lab, 11 years old. I had him since he was 6 months old. And when I come home from a game, mad, happy, or whatever, he keeps me grounded because all he cares about is, what am I eating and can I get outside? Because if I do the mess right here, it ain't my fault.
Exactly.
He keeps grounded.
Well, let's dig into it because it just was announced the other day. In fact, congratulations to you, Coach of the Year, Keon Johnson, the Class 3 State Offensive Player of the Year. The numbers that these young men have put up for you have been just incredible. And Devon Powell, the Class 3 State Defensive Player of the Year. And people can check out some of those numbers. We're going to scroll across our ticker here in just a second here. But, Coach, from 3-7 to 13-2, and you've been through a lot off the field. We talked about it with Craig Brehon with Bethel earlier in the show on the basketball front, him with his health situation. You having the passing of a lot of close, dear ones, loved ones in your life the last couple of years here. And I know people have been saying, give it up, veteran guy. But to win this the way you did, the last 2 games to win it on touchdown passes of almost identical yardage on the final play through the air, and Lake Claire has been known for its running game and its defense. How rewarding was this championship? I know they're all special, but of your 4 now to match your wife in girls basketball, you on the gridiron, how different was this one from the others?
Well, we didn't get any transfers in. Nobody wanted to be a part of us. We were 3-7, and people thought we stunk, and they all thought it started with me. And I take the blame for that. But we kept working. We kept working, and we kept lifting weights. We kept running. I kept talking. I kept telling the coaches, we got to coach these kids. They don't know how to play this game. These kids didn't play football because COVID was out there. So we have to teach them how to play this game from getting in the stands. And I saw the success. And I think I mentioned it to you, Matt, a couple of times. And, I know I'm an old guy. When I told people I thought we could be good, they were just, my friends were just kind of happy for me or just kind of encouraging me. But I don't think they believed it either. But I kept believing it, and I kept seeing it. I saw it in the weight room. I saw it on the field when we were rolling the big tire. And we just kept preaching technique, keep playing. We kept teaching love. Love is a word you don't hear a lot on the football field because, most of the time I'm telling guys you got to be violent with your hands. You got to be aggressive when you block. When you run, you got to run all over people. But love was all through this team. And what love does to a team, it makes people believe in each other. Players believe in coaches. Coaches believe in players. And fans believe in the team.
Pretty well said there. Now, I saw you back in August, I know I mentioned this to you, and you had a scrimmage with Nansemond River, and then you won your first game with Heritage and lost a close one to Hampton. How much did you see the progress from August to early September? Even when I saw you guys play Maury, who won a 3rd consecutive state championship in Class 5. A lot of people don't know this, but you guys were tied with them with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. It's 14-all. We know how explosive and great that Maury team is. How much did you see this group getting better? And at what point did you believe in this journey that you were all capable of doing what you accomplished?
Every week when the JV was playing a game, the JVs this year had 10 games scheduled. Last year, I think we played about 3 games, and then we just didn't have enough kids. So Maury has the numbers. We didn't have the numbers. So I knew I had to get those JV kids to help me out and those freshmen to play special teams. I didn't say it a lot, but I had 18 freshmen on a 38-man team this year. So I kind of kept that a secret so people wouldn't kind of try to expose them. And when I saw the freshmen getting better and making plays in the game, I knew we had a chance.
Wow, 18 of 38 at freshmen. That's almost half the roster. Can you do that over there in basketball?
No, we couldn't play that. We couldn't have it comparable to basketball. I wouldn't be able to have that many freshmen. Over here in Smithfield, we don't have a middle school program. But what I'm interested in, Hank, is when you bring those freshmen on board in a high-level program such as your program is, championship caliber pretty much every year. Yeah, last year was a down year. If we're in the business, we're going to have those years. The key is how do we weather the storm? And I'm sure you preach the same thing I do. There's a difference between losing a game or a few games and then being losers.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't understand that, and there's no need to get into it. We know as coaches what that means and how we put that onto our players. Those freshmen, as you brought them through in this type of year, what were some of the challenges with those young kids in terms of more than half your team being freshmen?
Well, some of them weren't strong. They weren't used to lifting weights in season 2 to 3 times a week. They wasn't used to the amount of time that we asked. They had never watched film like we watch film intentionally. That's a part of our daily practice schedule. The first part of practice is either weights or film, and then conditioning. So those 3 things right there were very challenging. They're even challenging for upperclassmen because we get the conditioning out as soon as we get everybody at practice. Let's get the conditioning out before somebody say they're tired, they're hurt, they got to leave early. And those freshmen, the upperclassmen made them buy into that. They saw that bond and they wanted to be a part of that. And the one thing we do, everybody looks alike, everybody dresses alike, everybody has on a nice sweatsuit, everybody has on a nice jersey. If you need cleats gonna be provided for you. And when those freshmen saw that, they just bought into it.
Now, in terms of using those freshmen, obviously we got to hear. I know you kept it a secret last year, but the secret's out now because you got a state title, and you just told us you had those freshmen. Who are some of those freshmen now who have kind of risen to the top? Maybe if you can rename a few names for next year. Let's look way down the road. Who to look out for?
Keon Freeman, he was a freshman that looks like a senior. He was about 6'2", about 175 pounds. He actually caught a couple of passes in the Petersburg game as well as the Magna Vista game that our quarterback, most quarterbacks not going to throw to a freshman. They got us a first down that we needed. He was pretty good. Another one that was pretty good was Keon Peterson. He was a defensive lineman that we moved all around to play special teams for us. And then one kid, Jamari Hopper, he was our holder and backup quarterback. His dad played for me and his uncle played for me. His uncle was the one that got killed in Arizona many years ago. And so those kids just made some plays for us, along with some other linemen. They all were freshmen. Hunter Jones, Terrion Craddock. They were kids that we couldn't depend on, and they were kind of shocked that we were using them. And I would challenge them every day at practice. I was the mean guy because I was on those freshmen. Everybody kept saying, "What's going on?" I said, "Man, these guys. If we're to win, we're going to need these guys in the second season. And, they play special teams or play backup role, and a couple of them even end up starting for us. Keon Freeman ended up starting on both sides of the ball."
We're chatting with Hank Sawyer, head football coach of the VHSL Class 3 state champion Lake Taylor Titans, 13-2 on the season as they win at 48-42 over Kettle Run in double overtime. Our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Going from the freshmen to the seniors, because you're going to say goodbye to some awfully valuable players. Tell the audience what some of these guys meant, from the Keon Johnsons to the Devon Powells and those that went through the battles, because they really didn't have any playoff experience taste except when they were freshmen. You guys lost to, I think it was Phoebus in the region finals, right? Ninth grade year?
Right, exactly. They were part of that. Keon Johnson was more playing linebacker last couple of years. Then last year he kind of came on as a running back. When I met this guy was 5'1", 180 pounds, and I kept saying, y'all need to get that kid out my face now. Come on now. I like kids, but he's not a running back. And of course, he kept getting in the running back line, and he proved me wrong. And this year, he was first-team All-State linebacker, as first-team All-State running back, and Offensive Player of the Year. He had 2,300 yards, 42 touchdowns. And he had 2 pick sixes on defense, 5 interceptions, and 38 tackles for loss. And he just was a freak out there. Devon Powell I moved them after the Hampton game, and I don't know if he was buying it, but he says, "Okay, let's go with it." I don't think he liked it. I moved him to outside linebacker, and he ended up being the defensive player of the year with 33 sacks. Levante Hill was an outside linebacker last year. I put him at defensive tackle because his first step was very, very, very powerful and very, very quick. And he ended up second team All-State. So then we had Zion Knight, a big tackle. We ended up putting him on defense. Didn't play defense much at all. Last year we put him on defense, and he made some crucial plays in his second season in the Petersburg, Magna Vista, and the Kellam run game. Jeremiah Furby, he was a kid. Jeremiah is 5'7", 180 pounds. Jeremiah played nose guard, inside linebacker, outside linebacker, as well as a free safety. He could check you, or he was strong enough to get up under you. And those kids just made plays. And I challenge the coaches every day. I know I probably was my coach's nightmare. I challenge them every day. Don't stand around. Coach them up. Coach them up. I expect what I expect every day. I'm probably coaches don't like me during the season and players don't like me during the season, but God got our back, and wherever He leads me, that I'll follow, and that's how I coach.
Absolutely. We got a question from one of our Twitter or X, I guess you call it now, fans out there, and I'm not understanding the handle, so I'm just going to read the question for you, Coach. Which championship game, I should say, of the four is most memorable? It's got to be the one that's most recent, right? Because you had some good ones: Stonebridge, Tuscarora, Salem. This one was the first to go to double OT, right? Well, the one with Salem that you lost, was that OT or double OT?
Double OT.
Double OT. Well, it's the first double OT that you won, right?
Yeah, but this one was special just because the other games, the record was there. I mean, people, pick who they wanted to pick, and then you have haters that don't want you to win. But those other ones, we kind of knew where we were going and what the goal was. But this one, only the players and the coaches bought into it. No one thought we were gonna win those games. And our mantra was keep winning it, keep winning it, keep playing, keep playing. At some point, you got to shorten the game. That's why we decided to run. You got to shorten it. You got to take time off the clock. And the crazy thing is, people think we can't throw the football. And if you look at our receivers' percentage of catching the ball when we needed to, it's something like 85% when we needed to go to them. And that's what's so important. They caught the ball when we needed it. And, everybody was playing to run, and we won the semifinals to get you to the state and the state championship game on the pass. The option to run really set it up. And all those guys, Majora Clark, he caught the ball when we needed it in the semifinals. And Kassan Hesson caught the ball in the state championships. I just saw the celebration there because I got soaking wet, so I was somewhere trying to dry off of the players and all. And that's the first time I saw that. And the one thing that I learned many years ago, Bobby Bowden, Florida State coach, came to a church right there in the Kinsville area, and I had a chance. He signed, gave me a book. He signed. And I was asking him about success. He says if he was a high school coach, he would run some kind of option, and he would always keep it quiet what he was doing. He said because what you got to do is when all of them doubt you, you got to sneak in the back door. He's saying nothing wrong with sneaking in the back door because by the time they realize you pretty good, it's too late.
Well, speak to that, and I'll let Ed follow up here because you guys run that twin veer at Lake Taylor, and I know you always use the phrase to help me with it. It's just like Nova can give it time; it's going to work. But you've made some tweaks and some alterations during the years too. But you've been able to evolve and adapt, but still stay to your true roots. Correct?
Yeah. Well, I've had to make some changes with a lot of it, even on defense. Now you never know when we're going to be in man or we're going to have a free safety or whatever. And the reason they had to make the changes. Because America in high school, college, and pros, they're so pass happy now. Everybody want to throw the football. But if you look at all those teams that won, Verona, Maury, in the end, in the playoff games, state semifinals, in the finals, they ran the ball. They understand that you got to find some kind of way to shorten that game. And then that time of the year, the weather is not good for receivers catching the ball or the quarterback throwing it. And sometimes it's rainy out there. You get a bad center quarterback exchange. So I'm going to take what you – I honestly take what you give me, and that's my philosophy. I don't know if you're going to run it or throw it, but whatever you do, I'm going to try to make you do it fast.
Titans did that well, Ed. 13-2 on the season. 4th state championship for Hank Sawyer and his crew as they got the Class 3 crown in double overtime over Kettle Run. Our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, Hank, much has been said about this championship year. And I remember telling Matt in August when we had it on one of our podcasts about who are teams maybe to watch for and like who didn't have a good year. And I made a comment that I thought Lake Taylor will be in that conversation. And if they can get hot at the right time, look for them to go into the state playoffs. I just believe that. And, a lot of that's based on Hank Sawyer. I don't know your kids and what you have, but I'm big on programs, good programs, not highlight teams once in a while. And I know you have done that with your program, that you find a way to be involved in games. Speak to the situation where coming off the down year, and you've already kind of did it, but was there a game somewhere where when you went home, you said to Sandra, hey, we're going to win this thing. We definitely can win this. Was it a moment in practice, a conversation with some of the youngsters? Was there a particular point for you?
Well, after the Hampton High game, I thought that quarterback was the type of quarterback that was just, unbelievable. He was good. He could throw it. He could run it. He could put a team on his back. And I felt like we didn't tackle him real well. Had we tackled him, we would have won that game. And every week, on Sunday when we met, and the coaches would watch film and they would give me the scout report, and they always tell me how good everybody quarterback was. And I was always say, is he as good as Hampton High's quarterback? And they would say, well, no. I said, well, we're going to be all right then, because I thought that kid was phenomenal. Woodrow don't even know it, but I went to see him a few games just to watch his quarterback. So after the Hampton High game, I thought, we could be pretty good. We just got to break this thing down and coach these kids up. We needed to scratch where it itches. And we did tackling drills, Ed, every day, even pregame practices the day before, with helmet and shoulder pads on. Even when we went up in Charlottesville, in practice, at Albemarle High School, we did tackling drills out there. Their coach was looking at us, had shoulder pads and helmets on, and he was like, wow, I've never seen that before. Well, you got to do, it's just like basketball. You got to keep doing things on habit. You just can't take a break, because tackling is so important. So I thought we improved on the tackling. I already knew that the running game was unbelievable. And those offensive linemen I had, there were some mean, athletic, physical kids. So I knew they had my back. And every game, we never got shut out. Even the Maury game, when it was Keon Johnson, Furby popped a nice 72-yarder. And we took some chances in that game because we fumbled the ball or we got behind. And that game helped us as well,
Well, and all 5 returning offensive linemen was a big deal for you because this, Coach, the games are won in the trenches. And it felt like even as you played some explosive teams at the end in Magna Vista State Semis, Kettle Run State Championship, teams that were high-powered, your line of scrimmage as the game slowed down at the end, you could control things up front. Did you get that sense as well? Were you confident about that?
Yes, and I have 3, well, actually 4, because one kid, when somebody was hurt, he started over 5 games. So I have 5 offensive linemen returning. And they've already proven. And I got a quarterback that's Kevin Adams. Wow, he can read the veer, he can throw it, and even important, he had 12 interceptions to lead this area at free safety. He was first team All-State at defensive back, second team quarterback. So I have about half of the kids coming back, and that's why I feel pretty good. The only thing that's been bothering me, it got me designing rings and jackets and hoodies, and I know it's Christmas time, and I keep saying, man, we got to get back in the weight room, because the good Lord put eyes in front of your head to see where you're going, not where you've been. And so we got to get in that weight room and get ready for next year.
Well, that brings me to what I'm going to bring up here with you next year as we're talking with Coach Hank Sawyer, the VHSL Class 3 State Coach of the Year of the Titans from Lake Taylor. His Offensive Player of the Year, Keon Johnson, Defensive Player of the Year, Devon Powell. They win at 48-42 over Kettle Run in double OT, 13-2. Only the blemishes were against Hampton in a close game, who got the number 1 seed in Region 4A, and Maury, who won a 3rd consecutive state championship in Class 5 at 757 Sports Talk. I see $50, $50_$ says out there on Instagram. I wish I could put the IG comments on the screen, Coach. Hank, much respect. This is head coach from Armstrong, says Jeremy Pruitt. Kenny Painter and Lamont Brett told me so much about you. And you're a student of the game, Coach. I know you always follow the football closely all over the state, and you take pieces of different things you've watched be it in the 757 or all over and implement in your own program, don't you?
Yeah, well, I take whatever you got. I let you know I'm here to steal what you got. And even in basketball, I'll go to 25, 30 basketball games and watch my wife. I even told her that we're gonna come to Smithfield because there's 2 people I need to see. I need to see Ed Young and I need to see Daryl. So we're gonna go to Smithfield in one of his games one of these nights and get us some barbecue from over there and just enjoy life. But I watch football all over the state, and I honestly, my mind is still really, really sharp in football. And you should see the emails that I've received or text messages that coaches all over the state want to talk to me. Just want to pick my brain because, what we do, a lot of people like. And the greatest thing about it, we do it with a few kids. We had 38 players. We had 38 players and about 14 coaches and get it done. And I tell you what, I don't know how many coaches' wives around them when they're watching film. My wife watching it, she's making suggestions, and sometimes I don't want to hear it. So now I just put her on the sideline. And her and Coach Mike James, they 2 of the best with that iPad, showing us what just happened and all. I don't have the patience to go back and look at the iPad. So they find that stuff for me. And my coaching staff, Santonio Jones, Sean Banks, James Bond, God, I don't want to leave nobody out, Des Palmer, BJ Moore, Clarence Clanton, I brought David Floyd and Anthony Church out of retirement. They come out there and help me with the defense because those old guys, they say we old, but trust me, we got something to give the sport. And our state championship is good for the school and it's good for the players, but it's good for all you old coaches out there like me that people keep doubting us to let us know we still got some gas in the tank.
And reward these kids, Ed, that win state championships across the board, whether it's Oscar Smith in Class 6, Maury in Class 5, Verina in Class 4, Strasburg in Class 2, Rappahannock in Class 1, and, of course, the Titans of Lake Taylor in Class 3. They all have to raise money for rings and jackets. And, Coach, I want you to talk about this a little bit and educate Ed, fill him in here. Maybe he'll empty out his pocket and be an extra Santa Claus for you. You got some Lake Taylor tumblers people can get. You got them in silver, gray, white. I like these. And it's good to have these. Put your coffee in, your cocoa, whatever beverage you have, drink, and you can help out the Titans raise the money for the rings and jackets. Pretty cool.
I mean, the rings and jackets are very expensive, and Norfolk Public Schools doing their part in it. And so I'm doing my part. I'm asking our coaches and our fans to sell. It's really hard for me to ask the kids to sell for a ring or a jacket, but when they've done everything that I asked them to do, from 100 degrees in the summer till 30 degrees in the winter, late fall, cold. I can't ask them. And I'm asking people to get up there, buy a tumbler, make a donation, and just show the kids, even if you don't care for me, you can show the kids love. Show them love. The tumblers are about $35, and you got something. It's got the state championship, the 4 we won, and the Titan logo on it. And it would be wonderful if you could support us. That would be great. And my number is 757-692-3200. If you want to support, it doesn't go to me. It goes to the Titan Booster. We got a booster organization, football booster club, that takes care of all of that money. Give you a tax write-off and all of that. We have all of that for you. So I would love for those kids to get a really nice ring, a hoodie, and a state championship jacket, because we have to reward those kids, and we have to let them know in this world, if you work hard, you will get your reward. And that's what that ring will do, and that's what your support will do.
Really cool. Which one you like best, Ed? You like the gray, the black, or the white there? Which one you going with for your tumbler?
Well, unfortunately, because my phone is not doing what I want it to do, I can't see the tumblers if you have them. But because it's Hank Sawyer, and it is a title, another title, well deserved. And after a tough year, when we had some of those naysayers say, Hank, you need to step aside and let the young people step in. And I'm glad how he stood up to it too. I'm going to get me a tumbler, but Hank, you're going to have to sign it, which probably means I need to get the white one.
Okay.
But I want you to
I'll send you the thing, and then when I come to Smithfield, I'll sign it, because trust me, I'm coming to Smithfield one of your games. My wife, she steals so much of your stuff that you don't even have any idea on basketball stuff. She sees your stuff online with the games. She steals it. Now, the one thing I will give her credit and me credit, when we steal a play or something, we either call it that school or whoever that coach that we stole it from. So we give you the name of whatever we take from you.
Oh, you can just be careful taking each year. We're struggling a little bit at 2 and 4, but my kids they're in there working. It's a new bunch. I've got a lot of new coaches, and I have to teach the coaches as well as the players. And 3 of our 4 losses, we were in the game up to about the last minute. Some of them with 2-3 point games where we're just making mistakes at the end.
Yeah, I think I saw that a few times. Trust me, I follow you.
Well,
every night I'm watching somebody or trying to get a score.
Well, like I said, I appreciate it because us oldsters got to stick together, because people like this nut job here trying to make us do other things and let the young guys take over. all I say to that is, and I don't brag, I'm lucky to get 500 wins. And I say to some people that are my naysayers, which if I do talk to them, you'll be lucky to coach 500 games, let alone win 500. Exactly. And I leave it at that. And I leave it at that at this day and age. And like I said to Matt, when you start listening to people that sit in the stands, you're going to sit next to them. Right now, I got the best seat, so I'm just going to keep it where it is. But no, I definitely want to challenge. I'm going to challenge other coaches, veteran coaches in the area. I'm getting me a tumbler. I'm going to put that $35 down because I know how tough it is to get rings. Back in the day, you could do it where maybe the city or the school district said, hey, that's extra for state title. We're going to get it for you. Those days are long gone. Yes. But I do hope the city of Norfolk steps up. I'll do, like I said, I'll do my part, but I'll challenge other coaches in that to support you, Hank, in terms of being in the game and doing what's right. We got some veteran coaches who go to the other side, so to speak. They start recruiting. They look for shortcuts because their insecurities is great. I don't feel that way about Hank Sawyer. You went through a tough year. You didn't go out and try to bring in players from all over the place. You brought in a bunch of freshmen, and you said, this is how we're going to do it. You made your tweaks because I think as a veteran coach, we have to bend a little with the times, but we ain't breaking. And if they can't stay up to what we want, it's the old Wendy's philosophy, who's next? Because we'll go to the next person. That's that simple. So, Hank, count on me for one of those tumblers, and I definitely want you to sign it.
Thank you, Ed. And my advice to you, or if I can say anything, you don't have to be good now. You got to be good when the playoffs start. And that was my philosophy during the regular season. We kept trying to get better. I got to be better. We had to be good in November when the playoffs start, and you got to be good at the end of February.
Exactly. We got to peak, and we'll get these teams a second time around, and and it's funny because you mentioned something that the kids weren't used to, and like you got pads and helmets on pregame day. We instituted here like games where we have a game where there's no school. I told the kids, okay, we'll be in at 10 in the morning. Coach, we have a game today. I said, I know, but you're going to be in there at 10 in the morning. We have what we call pregame practice.
Okay.
Go through our stuff and whatever. But let me tell you this, don't come in there with an attitude that we're not doing nothing, because I've been known on those particular days to run a 2.5 hour regular practice because I'm irritated because our mind's not where it should be. And I have some stories along those lines for another time, but they were like, wow. And that's just part of the newness of a program. This is how we're going to do it. And I take that out of Hank Sawyer's book.
Before we let you run, Coach, we thank you so much for coming on the program and give the audience a chance to how they can locate those tumblers and also help with your fundraiser to get these youngsters their deserved state championship memorabilia, if you will, their jackets, their rings, their hoodies. I also want to put up on the screen and let you chat about it briefly and fill the audience in. We showed a little graphic a second ago about the happy holidays there. And I mentioned it earlier in our segment that it's been a tough couple of years here, losing your mom and the likes of coaches such as former Lake Taylor coaches like Bert Harrell, Billy Morrow, Theo Ford, who was a longtime assistant of yours, and even John White, a good close friend of yours at Bayside, who I know you worked out with the last couple of off seasons. What's kept you going and kept you after it? Because I know it could have been easy for you to throw in the towel at some point.
Well, my faith, all those guys, Coach Ford used to be my prayer partner. And John White he was my fraternity brother. And we were close. We were closer than people realized because we worked out, at least once a week from March on till June. And we scrimmaged each other. And my mom and Coach Ford's son and Bert and Billy. And Billy Morrow was with me the first day I walked into Lake Taylor. And Bert Howe, he hired me. I said, I got my job, and losing those guys was really tough because I could always call those guys if they weren't out there and get advice from them. And I didn't realize it till the last couple of years. My mama did more for me than I did for her, even when she was sick in her last years, but she was always talking to me and encouraging me. And my wife did that Christmas thing, and she put those names up there. And Kellam Run and Magna Vista just didn't know it. But in both of those games, I had those angels. All of them was looking down on me. And I believe that from the bottom of my heart, And I tell everybody, nothing is as good as it seems. Nothing is as bad as it seems. Somewhere between, reality falls.
Well put. Well, congratulations to you and these hardworking young men from the Lake Taylor Titans who are state champions. Again, if folks want to get the tumblers, tell the audience how they can do so. I know you have a fundraiser online.
Yeah, it's online. And if you click on my dog, there's a picture of my dog, Champion. If you click on him, you can order a tumbler. And the thing about the tumbler, it'll come. You'll give me your address. It'll come right to your house. They'll mail it right to your house, so you don't have to come to me to pick it up. And once again, it's 757-692-3200. If you have any problems, please reach out to me because I want to make this thing happen for these kids because they bought in to what we said as an adult, and I want to show them that an adult's going to return that favor.
Fantastic. Well, again, we'll have a link up for fans as well that won't be able to find it. Click it directly. They can go right to it and they can see it. So thank you so much. Again, congratulations. It's so richly deserved for you and your kids and your coaches for all the hard work. And a happy New Year. I'm sure we'll be chatting in 2026. And we'll have to see if you can give us a live report, you and the wife out there when you got to Smithfield, out tell us how to barbecue it.
We already said we're going because I remember when I told her that Nasmith River they went their separate ways. She doesn't like Nasmith River anymore. Ed, you need to know this, Ed. She didn't even want me to scrimmage them because of what they had did to you when we needed that scrimmage. She said, no, we're not scrimmaging there. Let me find you somebody.
Tell her I love her for that and really appreciate it. But like I said, that's past history. And like you said, eyes are in front of my head, not behind. I'm a Smithfield Packer right now. We're going to take care of business here. So,
and I love Smithfield. I know some people over there, some great people. So,
well, you get up here. We got to get you some of that barbecue.
Oh, yeah, it's good barbecue. Yes.
Coach, have a great one, and we'll chat with you in 2026. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
Enjoy.
Thanks for our guest here from the state champion Lake Taylor Titans. We got more coming your way, including NFL picks. You're watching 757 Sports Talk with us right here on Cova Sports TV.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk.
Usually it's Hatfield. That's why I try to tell everybody, get on Hatfield. He is the legal scribe, the talking head that knows all this, puts the whammies on. We do things different on this podcast. That's why we're rated number 3 in the state.
You got Play-Doh? Get out of here! We got people all over the globe watching with us. Sitting in a phone booth with you would be very...
well, no, we got to have your own phone booth. I'm not sitting in a phone booth with you.
It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, here with Princess Anne basketball coach Greg Montgomery as Cavaliers win it 70-58 over Bethel to move to 9-1 on the season. Coach, it was a battle for about a quarter and a half there. It's tied up after 1:18 apiece, 6-point lead. They even kept it within a couple possessions in the third quarter, but really just your big three on the perimeter of Isaiah Goodson, Marcus Burn, and Nico McIntyre will do today as they combined for in this game, 56 points. What did you see from those three?
They've been making plays for us all year. Z's spends a lot of time with the ball in his hand, creating for others, but he can also score it himself. But yeah, they've been carrying away, man. They shot makers, but I try to make sure that they don't live and die by that. They get trigger happy. We shoot a lot of them at times, but they definitely led the way.
How much are you seeing the trust in his teammates from Goodside? Last year was second team All-State as a freshman. We saw his performance against Green on the road and a big win there. But today he had about 7 or 8 assists, a couple nice no-look passes as well for finishers.
It's a fantastic part of his game. Last year we probably needed him to score a little bit more, but with guys like Nico stepping up and scoring it a little bit more, he gets to really be who he wants to be. That's who he wants to be. And at times you'll hear me barking on him because I need him to score it for us. So, just trying to find a happy medium, make sure he's passionate, but, we need him to score for us too.
And to go with that, Bird and McIntyre play in transition. I know Nico had a couple nice dunks today, which the teammates, the fans got amped up about. But their rebounding is crucial for you guys, isn't it?
1,000%. They are. I was just telling somebody, they've been, if I look at the stats, they're all going to be 7, 8, 6, somewhere around there. It's probably because I talk so much trash to them and I challenge them. I'm like, man, you can't get 7 rebounds. You can't get 8. So, I just try to keep juicing them up.
Is that the big focus when you throw those two on with Aiden McKeating inside to keep people from getting offensive rebounds? Because today Bethel only got 7 of those. If they don't get second shots, you're probably going to win a game?
1,000%. And that's who we've been in the past. So that's kind of like a knock on us. We kind of get bullied around or we don't win the rebounding battle. So I think this year we got some long athletic wings with Nico, Bird, and then Z loves the rebound. And then Aiden, like you said, Aiden's had 10 multiple games. So we need game rebounding, and that's how we're going to have success.
Sure. Since I seen you last year, you had that big win over Green Run. You had the one loss to Landstown. You win today here, and you're 9-1. How important is it to get a top seed, being a 1, 2, or 3 seed for the playoffs? Because you're almost at a midway point, believe it or not.
Absolutely, 1,000%. We had a lot of games early on, but it matters. Last year we dropped some early ones that we felt like we shouldn't have lost, and we ended up being a 4 seed, ended up being on Green Run side of the bracket. If we win one game, we end up on the other side, and I think I like us in those matchups. So it matters. It matters getting off to a good start. We got some tough games coming up after the break. We got some Saturday events. We got Norview on the 3rd, and we got Hampton on the 10th. And we're not overlooking anybody, but so we know we got to get these wins because we got some tough ones coming up.
Sure. And lastly, what do you hope to find out about your team, and what have you learned so far as you get ready for those games with Norview and Hampton and those in January? Because Region 5A, we know Green Run's been the flag carrier, but you can see you will see the Stallions again. Yeah. We know about Kellam playing earlier today and getting a win. You guys are right in that mix.
Yeah, 1,000%. Just trying to stay in the mix. Again, taking care of the people that we're supposed to take care of, and then we'll have dogfights with those guys. Just looking to compete. Our region is up for grabs, kind of, I'd say. We got some teams that could win it. Between the Kellams, Salem had Green Run on the ropes yesterday, so it's a lot. It's a lot of moving parts. So we're just trying to stay in the mix.
Well, Calendar's looking sharp as they head into the holidays. Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
All right, here with Landstown sophomore guard Damien Robinson. His team wins it over Nance, but over 63-58 here in the Woodside away showcase to remain undefeated now, 9-0 in the season. Dame, you guys are down 10, 14-4, and I saw you signal over to coach. We need a timeout here. You guys called a timeout. What changed from that point on? Because you scored 9 straight after that timeout.
We called a timeout to regroup ourselves as a team and get better on defense and stop ball because they were penetrating the glass, and we needed to stop ball and play defense. It wasn't really the offense. We needed defense to help us win.
Your first 8 games were all pretty much blowouts. I know you were down at halftime in the opener against Cox, but you won games by double figures. Tonight you got a battle from Nansford. What made them such a challenge for you guys?
They matched up really well with us. They were athletic. They were scrappy. They played on defense good. They had great offense. They had a lot of key pieces that made this game very close.
Yeah, a lot of threes they made to keep it tight, and you guys were missing some free throws. So you were 9 for 9 tonight. How much do you pride yourself? I know your older brother, Donald Hand Jr. at Boston College, y'all probably had free throw battles in the backyard, huh?
Yes. We always think free throws, they're like by yourself. That's a layup. It should be a layup. It's a free shot. You got to make those automatic.
All right, so when he comes back from break, who's making more, you or him? Who wins the contest?
Me, of course. Of course, me.
All right. For your game, what's different? Last year you were a freshman. You made All-State. You guys got to the state semifinals. What's changing your game from off-season? I know you played with Boo on the travel circuit, EYBL. How is your game different from a year ago to now?
So last year I was pretty much I would use off screens and come around, catch and shoot type of player. But this year I'm more hands-on ball. I'm a real point guard this year, getting my teammates involved and creating my own shot.
Sure. You feel like this team's also different? Certainly you as well as Chase Johnson, Rashad Shaw, your backcourt mate, classmate, if you will, from the class of 2028, certainly are handling the ball a lot more?
Yes, we have a lot of depth this year. All 4 of our starters can dribble the ball, shoot the ball, including we have a big that's very active down there that catch lobs, get on the backcourt. So I think we have a lot of depth this year.
Third quarter, and you've seen us all year long. It seems like defenses are constantly changing. You be a box and one, double, deny, face guard. How do you keep your head with all the different defenses and all the different smack talk from different defenders as well?
So I just let the game come to me. Don't force shots. Let the game come to you. Be a point guard. Get your teammates started early. Later in the game, then you'll get your rhythm and start flowing more.
Sure. Final 2 for you. Let's have a fun one on recruiting. What's the update? I know you got more schools offering. I think Virginia Tech and Arizona State are the latest. Tell me about what's new on the recruiting front.
Just a couple new schools. I talked to I'm going to disclose that, but it's a couple new schools.
Sure, gotcha. Lastly, what's it going to take for this team to reach its goals this year and win a state championship?
I think it's us just coming together and playing defense. Offense, we have the pieces. We just need to stop ball and stop penetrations mostly this year and learn to box out and get rebounds this year.
It's Dame time. Damien Robinson, Eagles. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we're back with all of you on this episode of 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to Cova Sports TV wherever you are tuning in. You heard from Damien Robinson of the Landstown Eagles, Greg Montgomery of the Princess Anne Cavaliers. It leaves us with just one more interview clip, which you'll hear before we sign off, and that's from the head coach of the Hampton Crabbers, Eric Brown, whose team got themselves a nice win over the Massaponax Panthers. We thank Hank Sawyer of the Class 3 state champion Lake Taylor Titans for coming on the program. If you missed any of the interview with Coach Sawyer or other clips we've played on the show, any commentary, interaction, you can always go back and watch it on Cova Sports TV where it's on demand as Ed continues to munch on something. I'm guessing it's some Christmas cookies that were left in the hallway at Smithfield. That's what I'm guessing. That's not. Okay. You're shaking your head. It's something else. You're not going to divulge what it is.
No, because I don't sponsor the show.
That didn't stop you. That didn't stop you in the past.
Truth be told, it's my choice of candy before practice. A few Milk Duds.
Oh, Milk Duds. See, you did divulge it. I got it out of you. That's what you call a good, hardworking reporter, to dig it out. Dig it out. I dug it out of you.
I wouldn't pat myself on the back with that one. That was pretty easy. I'm just eating milk. Milk Duds.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. We asked earlier in the show about what sticks out to you. And our man Derek's back, by the way. The weather's still the same, he says. We showed you a couple of clips from Derek and his visit with Santa Claus. In fact, here's another one. At the Hawaii Bowl with the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii getting the comeback W in their bowl game. Did you watch in that bowl game, by the way, or no?
No, I saw the highlights. Unfortunately, the highlights, the game went back and forth for a while there, but everything you saw was about the brawl.
Okay, just making sure. Some people were into the Hawaii Bowl just from the standpoint of making sure the total was the right total. That's what they were into it for, just to let you know.
I'm trying to think of a few people I may know who do that.
Hawaii and Cal, by the way, 35-31. Hawaii got the business taken care of. But we asked earlier in the show, what was your sports moment or memory of 2025? So now it's time to preview before we do our NFL picks, which is coming up. It's the next segment to close out the show. Preview 2026. What are you most looking forward to? What are you most anxious about? What are you most, you could even say uneasy about for 2026, Edward? So as we put the finishing touches, this is going to be on the local high school front. It's going to be on the college front. This could be on the national and pro sports front. What are you most anticipating for 2026? I'll tell you for me real quickly, and I have other things I'm anticipating, but I want to see if the chalk continues in college basketball, because last year we didn't get many upsets. People said, oh, it's this new change of guard in college hoops. It's going to be this way for the rest of the time. One seeds, the power teams get through. If you recall, it was Florida beating Auburn. It was Houston rallying to beat Duke, and then Florida had to come back against Houston in the championship game. Will it be the powers again? It looks like the powers this year in men's college hoops are your Michigans, your Iowa States, your Dukes. You throw up whoever you want to as your top teams. UConn's in that mixture as well. Arizona, don't leave them out because they're a great team. But what's your sense? And I know Duke did lose to Texas Tech last Saturday in that big lead they had at MSG. But what's your sense of, is it something in football, pro, college, or high school? Is there something else that I'm leaving out? What are you most looking forward to, or it's on your brain as we turn the calendar from 2025 to 2026? Look ahead.
Well, obviously, the look ahead first thing that hits me is, we're high school basketball as we turn into January, then we move into that February month of who's going to be hot in the state playoffs. We had 3 7-5-7 teams win football state championship. How many 7-5-7 teams maybe for basketball, including girls in there? I think, Princess Anne, I would, Darnell may not want to hear it, but I would say they would be my pick for the girls, one of the girls' titles. Woodside, who's done great the last couple of years, got a little bit of a newer team, different team. Though I did get to see them in the Woodside Way Invitational, and they're not as big as they were in the past, but I think they're just as good in some things that they're doing. Can they go back there and maybe claim another title, or is it going to be some upstart team that we haven't heard of from lately, and maybe they get up there? Professionally, of course, I'm New York Yankees. Here we are in the off season, and we've signed nobody of consequence. What are we doing?
Who's we? Are you on the team now? Who's this we?
I'm one of the biggest Yankee fans, maybe the biggest in the state of Virginia.
No,
and I'm going to say we need to sign Bellinger as soon as possible. Would mind another starting pitcher. Of course, that's pretty much coming off of 2025, but obviously 2026 season starts in March, end of March, begin April. Let's see what goes on there. And then, I'm also very interested on all this craziness with the college football playoffs. What are we doing? Players, the portal, ever-loving portal, people moving around, NIL money, all that. Are there going to be some change in teams moving into different conference play? I still say that the SEC and Big Ten eventually, not in 2026, are going to get away from the NCAA and maybe do their own thing together. They're going to grab a couple more teams and just have their own situation. So I'm looking for big things out of the NCAA-wise, especially for football, and we'll go from there.
I actually think that we could be seeing coming down the pike, the group of 5 have their own tournament, and then your power 4 have their own tournament, and they could split apart. And it is almost going towards a Big Ten SEC. They're the behemoths. They engulf everybody, and they run things in a lot of ways already. So I do think there's going to be some more changes. I don't know if they're going to be seismic or not in 2026, but you hit on some interesting ones there. You did hit on some interesting. I think the NFL, the Super Bowl is so up for grabs. There is no dominant team whatsoever. I mean, it is. You could see wild cards get through, and in the NBA playoffs, when that comes around at the end of the end of the spring into the summer, I don't think we're going to see the Dodger Blue Jays like in baseball. And people say it's OKC and the Knicks. I mean, the Spurs just beat OKC for the 3rd time in a month. And the Detroit Pistons, if you haven't noticed, they're like only 2-3 games off the best record in the sport. So you could have a couple surprises like Indiana last year getting to a final in the NBA. But I do think it's getting a little chalkier in college basketball. We are so into the upsets, the Cinderellas for March Madness. That's what really – I'm curious to see how that plays out. I really am.
You mentioned San Antonio. I watched a lot of NBA basketball on Christmas Day.
Did you?
Saw the entire Spur Oklahoma City game. The Spurs are pretty doggone good. Them young guys have molded quicker than I thought they would. I think record-wise, if I'm not mistaken, they're 5, 7, 8, 9 wins away from the total wins they had last year, and it's only December. They're pretty doggone good, and that's my new exciting team to watch, the Spurs. Still a Celtic fan, still sticking with my Celtics. But I do watch. A lot of people hate the NBA, but I watch it for certain plays and of course certain individuals. So I don't mind watching it. You go back to your comment about the football. You know how passionate I am about including those lesser, or I guess the non-power. I shouldn't say lesser, the non-power 5 teams that win.
Get them out. Feinbaum says get them out, by the way. He says get them out.
Yeah, they need to be included in the playoffs. If not, now you're talking about developing another championship where people are going to say, well, now it's all watered down. Because don't forget, we still have Division III champions, Division II champions, and the I still call them 1AA, even though they're not called that anymore.
FCS.
Yes. Okay, FCS. And by the way, how come the FCS has a football playoff system that works? Nobody complains about it, but we can't do that for the big boys. Why is that?
Because they're smarter than the FBS.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that. They have what, 16 teams?
But dude, does it work? Because I was told when James Madison competed for and went to a national championship and won a national championship, they lost more money than they made. That's what I was told. I don't know how true that is or isn't true, but that's what I was told. So I don't know. Okay. I guess it works on the surface. I guess it works on the surface to answer your. I mean, in terms of travel and all this stuff. I mean, again,
right. That level is going to lose money. They don't make the money the big boys do. You're never going to hear the big boys talking about losing money because they got more money than they should have. So that's not going to be a good excuse for me if we can't do it in that manner. But I'm not going to get into all that again because, it is what it is.
Right. All right. When we come back here on Cova Sports TV, you're going to hear from Eric Brown of the Hampton Crabbers, and then it is time to close out the program with NFL picks for week number 17 in the league where they play for pay. They're always playing for pay, I guess, in football nowadays, right? But we're going to come back with our NFL picks for week number 17. It's the final 2 weeks. It's the final stretch. Can Ed Young make a miraculous comeback? I don't know that he can. We'll share the standings when we come back here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back to close things out in just a bit. Stay tuned.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis. But if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship. And that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us. And the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
Okay, here with Hampton Crabbers head basketball coach Eric Brown as Crabbers defeat the Massaponax Panthers 81-54 in the Allen Iverson Holiday Showcase at Bethel High School to move to 4-1 on the season. Coach, they got out to an early 7-3 lead, but you had a 9-0 run ignited by a jam from Abraham Taft, and really so many different guys contributed for you as you got a double-figure lead and never looked back against a pretty good Class 5 team in Virginia.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we knew they were pretty good. We knew they were pretty good. Knew they had to stay up on their shooters. But we got a lot of balance. I think the philosophy that people played on us last year, good luck with that philosophy. We worked really hard to change our style of play, our pace, how we play. And the kids love it. They love how we're playing. But the seniors are leading us, and what we really need. The seniors are leaders.
We won a state championship a couple years ago. Malik Johnson goes down to ECSU. You do return the bigs that played football this year in Abraham Taft and Gavin Kay. But you were right. People thought we can zone the Crabbers up. They don't shoot them on guards. You've got shooters. You've got guards. You've got bigs. You have depth. You're athletic. You seem to have all the components you need to make a deep run in Class 4. And I know there's a lot of good teams in Class 4, including one that beat you to start the season in Denby. But what do you like most about this team right now?
What I like most about them is they don't care who shines each game. I think that they're playing to, like I said, our philosophy. They know we got talented guys, and we're just playing to the scouting report. We know Gavin's going to create a lot of gravity inside, so, we're trying to pull as much people outside as we can. But, what I like the most is we're guarding. We're guarding. I think Jawan Tucker is playing outstanding basketball for us right now. He has been the one guy that came off the football field and he was tired, but he was ready to go. He's been at 15 points every game, but probably this game. But he has such a responsibility to this game of chasing that kid around that I knew he would use most of his energy on defense. And but Tuck's playing really well.
Yeah, his defense bleeds over to the offensive side of the floor. You see he's having so much success and effortless there. And Joshua Rice, getting him back from Texas makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, that makes a huge difference because Josh is a natural leader. He's doing everything from a leadership standpoint that we need. He gets on the scenes, he gets on his peers, and he leads by example. And he's a heck of a player. He can score on all three levels for us, and he's super smart. He's super smart out there. And him and Cam, has so much experience. And they are locked in with me. So I let them make a whole lot of decisions this year because that was based on, again, us changing our philosophy, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, the guards in Jenneret and, of course, Tucker and Rice, they all look comfortable to go with Kay and Taft in the front court. No, by the way, you told me about a kid in the offseason, Joel Fullwood, is it? Freshman, younger brother of Troy, who played on your state championship team. I think he led you in scoring quietly with 20 points, by the way.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah, Joel is – he's got the benefit that he's playing with Lions and ain't nobody looking at him.
Right.
But he can really score. The kid can really score. He's learning a lot. But this kid is a talented kid. I think he has a super future. But this kid is very talented and he can really score the ball. Like he's really crafty for his size. He can shoot it. He can play in the mid range. But he's a great compliment. When we kind of slow down and we need to bring another punch off the bench. We can bring him in there and we don't lose a beat.
Lastly, you're coming off back-to-back state tournament appearances in Class 4. And we know in the Peninsula District, you'll see Woodside a couple of times, who's been a dominant team. You'll see Denby again. Yeah. What's it going to take for the Crabbers to be a factor come March? It feels like you have a lot of pieces to do that.
Yeah, we just got to stay locked in. We got to worry about us. The schedule is what the schedule is. All those teams know us. We know them. But we're constantly trying to improve. We're still nowhere near where we need to be. I mean, those guys came on the football field are still, they dying out there at times. And I'm kind of extending their minutes to make them get their win there. But we still haven't unlocked Gavin yet. He's playing great defensively, but we haven't unlocked him offensively really yet.
Hit him the ball, though, at times for you.
Yeah, but he's playing well. Yeah. He's playing well, but it's, coming from football, they're not used to it like the old school players were where, they got shots up and they did that type of stuff. These guys, and then Gavin had a little bit of surgery. So, these guys haven't really touched the basketball. They didn't play summer league. You was there to watch it. They didn't play summer league. The only one play was Hayes because Hayes just loved playing. So, but the rest of those guys didn't touch the ball. And for them to be getting back into it now, but you just really got to just lock in on what we do and continue to improve, continue to develop our bench, and I think we'll be fine.
Well, thank you so much. We'll see you in 2026.
All right.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we're back here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe as we put the finishing touches on this episode of the program. You heard from the head coach of the Hampton Crabbers, Eric Brown. His team won 81-54 over Massaponax in the Woodside Way Showcase. It's now time, Ed, to do some picks in the National Football League as we go through everything happening in pro football down to the last 2 weeks of the season. And here's how things went last week. I'm sure you enjoy this graphic and you want to savor it, frame it, put it above your wall, your bed, on the wall there at Smithfield? Because you like it when you do one game better than me, don't you?
Normally I would be excited as can be, but it's been a horrible year picking. I get no excitement in beating you by the one game because I should have been doing it all year. So no emotion for me on this one, and not real hip on my picks this week because too many teams are tanking.
Too many teams are tanking. Well, there's the updated pick standings for this particular season. And now we show you Bruce Pearl's picks for this particular week. Week number 17 in the National Football League. Here it is. He's got a couple of pups, a couple of bow wows like you and Coach Sawyer, like Champ and like Bear barking in the background. He always got the pups barking in the background, you two. The yippy dogs. Love it. Love it. And by the way, Ed Young's New Year's resolution, which he hadn't discussed yet on the program. I understand your New Year's resolution is to get out of the nursing program at Smithfield. Is that true?
No.
That's your New Year's resolution?
No, I hope I'm here till the last day of school.
Okay, I'll let you get out of the nursing program. Maybe get rid of that pinata behind you in the background. Maybe get rid of that pinata. That we can someone knock it.
The pinata and I have become one.
Okay, there's Bruce's picks. You beat me, so you get to go first this week. How about that?
Yeah, it's a tough week to pick because so many teams are out of it. You don't know who they're. By the way, I got on Notre Dame, my favorite all-time greatest football team in the history of football. I'm also going to get on my greatest football team in the history of the NFL, Raiders. They told Max Crosby, you're not playing these two games. Now, he went off, broke some things in the office, and he headed home because he wants to play. And the feeling is the Raiders don't want to win because, number one, it doesn't matter. They only won a couple games all year, and they're trying to get the number one pick. To the Raiders, I say, you suck because Crosby is one of the hardest working players in the NFL. Though it's been an abysmal season, he hasn't demanded to be traded or whatever. He's out there busting his butt every play, every game. And you have the audacity to tell this man, we're not going to play you in the last couple games. How about giving him the choice to play? It ain't because of injury situation. I don't want to hear that mess. All right. I'm going to watch the Raider and Giant game because I think both teams will try not to score, and it may be 0-0 after overtime. And the first game like that in the history of the NFL.
So does that lead you to your first pick of going under in the Raiders and Giants game? Because that's what you're going to get.
What is the under the Raiders and Giants?
It's 41.5, and a lot of people are locking it in. They think it's the lock of the week.
Lock of the week, put it in there. I'm telling you, it won't go over 20. Give me that as one of my picks. I'm going under. Raiders.
I just hope now that it's 21-20 after one quarter of play just to make you eat your words and shake your head and go off the screen like you just did now as he went completely black. He faded into the silver and black with the Raiders as you heard Ed Young's first pick with the under of 41.5. So while he disappears and figures out what his next two picks will be, and he'll come back on the show at any moment, that allows me to make my two picks. And my two picks, before I turn it back to him for his final two choices, I was not going to go with the under in Raiders Giants. Did give it a gander, a peek, a look-see. I'm going with one today on this Saturday. The LA Chargers have been angry for a year since they got knocked out of the playoffs in Houston, and because of that, I think the LA Chargers will put forth a big effort, a grand effort, in a game that still keeps them alive for the AFC West division. Remember, if the Chargers are to beat the Texans, next week's game with Denver is for the AFC West title. They next week to get that coveted once wrap up the AFC East as Buffalo has to hope for a loss there, beat the Eagles, and somehow get some breaks here, which is not looking like it's going to happen. So, anyways, I'm going with the Chargers despite that really good Houston defense, laying to 1.5 for pick number one. Pick number two, I'm going to stay away from the over-under for right now. I'm going to look really hard at a game on Sunday Night Football. Remember last week I got lucky, very, very lucky, very, very fortunate that I was able to select the Chicago Bears to get the job done in a comeback for the ages against the Green Bay Packers. And because of that, I'm going to go Oppo to Bears. It's a Sunday night primetime game against the San Francisco 49ers on the road. San Fran lays the 3. I know San Fran's defense is leaky right now. Even Phillip Rivers moved the ball pretty effectively on them. But I'm going to go with San Francisco to lay the 3 and cover it against the Bears. That's pick number 2. So I'm taking the Chargers minus 1.5. I'm taking the Niners minus the 3. The Chargers minus the 1.5 against the Texans, and the Niners minus the 3 against the Bears. And we do not have Ed Young with us for his final 2 picks. We hope we will here at some point because he's disappeared on the program. And we need to sign off on the program to get things rolling. Hopefully he can text in his picks, his final 2, if we don't get him here live because he's having, again, connectivity issues. What's new? It's expected at this point. But we will stall until we get him back, hopefully here in a moment, to give you his final 2 selections on this particular episode. Again, to recap where we are on the season numbers. I know he doesn't want to do this because he hates this. I am winning the season numbers by a good margin. Here he is. He's back with us. So you missed it. Are you back with us? Can you hear us loud and clear?
Gotcha.
Okay. I took Chargers minus 1.5 and Niners minus 3, so you have 2 more picks before you bid adieu. What do you got?
Give me Jacksonville. I've got 6.5 on Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is 5.5. Would you like them at 5.5? It's better than 6.5.
Yeah, let me take 5.5 Jacksonville.
All right. At Indy, and your last selection.
I'm going to go, even though this is a heck of a rivalry, I've got Steelers at 3.5.
You know what worries me about that game is if the Ravens lose on Saturday night, the Steelers have already clinched the division, and the game with Cleveland means nothing, and that line will shift. But you can take them at minus 3 if you like in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's the problem. If the Ravens lose, Steelers may rest everybody, especially Aaron Rodgers. But
just
you know
don't
what?
take my last pick because I will scream at you. I only have one more that I like. Don't take it. Don't take it.
Hold on. Let me see. Wait a minute. I just looked at something here. I like the Bengals over the Cardinals.
You can take that. It's
you
7.
know what? I think the Bengals, I got 7 for the Bengals. Is that true?
That is true.
Give me Bengals a touchdown over Arizona. I got to believe they'll do that.
Good. I go back to the NFC West for my last pick and take the Rams, laying the 8.5
Good one.
in Atlanta. To recap, Ed's got under 41.5 Raiders, Giants, Jags minus the 5.5, Bengals minus the 7. I have the Chargers minus the 1.5, Rams minus 8.5, Niners minus 3, and as you see on the screen, Brucey Boy's got Panthers plus 7.5, Colts plus 5.5, and Saints laying 2.5. That's going to do it for 757 Sports Talk. For the coach, Ed Young, and all of our guests today, Coach Hank Sawyer, and all the clips you heard, we say happy holidays and a happy new year to all of you, and we'll talk to you, Lord willing, in 2026. Ed, stay away from all those fireworks. Be careful for Happy New Year. I know you want to go all honky-tonk and be careful out there.
No, I'm not planning on anything. Believe it or not, I think I'm going to do something with the church on New Year's Eve.
Good for you. Good for you. And I know you'll drink the punch there. You'll be digging into the punch bowl. We'll talk to you next time right here on Cova Sports TV. Have a happy, everyone.